but we are going to go ahead and get into the content here. So first and foremost, thank you so much for joining. This technology has really changed my life. I just want to tell you how I got involved in it. I've known Dr. Caroline now for going on 10 years. When I first started in the water business, I was at the booth. So I was at like a fair setting and I was at my booth. Right next to me, she was here. And she had these machines. They were very similar to this, but they weren't this. And I was observing her over 3 days. And I was like, all right, I got water. My booth's pretty busy, but people are coming over here and they're standing on this device and they're getting results right away. They're coming back, they're bringing their friends, they're all standing on it. What is this? So at the end of the event, Dr. Caroline and I talked and I was like, wow, this is something I really got to look into. And at the time I had my business, the water business, at my parents' garden center. And this is a garden center. It's not set up to be a wellness center. So Caroline let me borrow the machine for 30 days. And I fell in love with the technology. People are waiting in line and we were charging people $40 a session to stand on the device. And people with all kinds of health issues, weight loss, I mean, you name it, people were coming in. So I saw what this could do, especially when they were starting to drink the water on top of it to really accelerate the detox. So I saw this, but 30 days later, Dr. Caroline took the machine back. And at the time, my family, my parents are like, you know, man, that's really great, but we just don't think it's gonna fit for our garden center here. It's just not, it doesn't fall in line with flowers and plants. I said, okay. So anyhow, when I started the AmandaBobbett.com store, all I could think about was Dr. Caroline. I was like, I gotta get that machine. Like I kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And guess what? Your thoughts are on a frequency. And guess what she did? She picked up the frequency and there we were right next to the gym. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about her. I said, I gotta get those machines. I've got a wellness center. She's like, oh no, I don't sell those machines anymore. I manufacture our own. I was like, really? Like in China? She's like, no, here in town. I was like, are you serious? You're manufacturing these in town? And she's like, yeah, you know, I've had the technology for over 16 years and I've sold someone else's product, but that one is good. So I want to manufacture our own. So I went to their manufacturing plant, saw it, and immediately I was like, give me 4 of them. I was like, I gotta have it. And I tried it in like a week just to make sure I loved it like I did. And now we have a wellness center. And so now what's happened in the past week and a half is we're not open yet. We open next week. But I invited people down to just check it out. I want to see what it's going to do for you. Kind of like with the water. I didn't know what it's going to do, but I just like give it out and see what happens. You should see and hear these people's testimonies. I'm not going to tell you about them right now, but you can go on social media and posting them. Inflammation, pain, after one session, people are getting results. Weight loss from people, whew, it's incredible. They all feel better, less stress in their life, just after 1 or 2 times. So that's why I really wanted you all to be here to understand what this frequency technology is, this amazing sound that comes out of this device and what it does for our body. So there's no one better in the world to talk about this than Dr. Caroline Stites. This woman is so powerful. She knows everything about frequencies, everything about medicine. So I wanted her to kind of introduce herself, tell us her background, and kind of go from there.
Okay, a little bit of history. So I am a naturopathic doctor. I have a master's in nutrition, but I was actually raised in a very traditional allopathic medical family. The women in my family are doctors and very immersed in that. And by the time I was 5, I wanted to be a doctor, you know, just like mom and aunt and everybody else. And by the time I was 12, I was this size. So they could take me into surgeries and deliveries and nobody knew the difference. It, you know, it could be an intern. And I learned a lot and I was fascinated. I was really dedicated to school, but by the time I got done with my pre-med, I started asking questions, you know, to my aunt was an amazing physician. And it's like, why are we, you know, doing all these surgeries and cutting out tumors or sectioning the colon? Why are we giving all these drugs that have side effects that we have to give other drugs for and never addressing the root of the problem? And she said, that's what it is. Those are the tools they give us. And I think that, you know, traditional medicine is wonderful for, especially for emergency medicine. There's definitely nothing better. I would definitely go straight to a hospital if I was in a car accident. But there's so much about the system that is not about making us well or supporting wellness or getting to the root of the problem of what caused it in the first place. Because you can take out a tumor and I'll guarantee you, you're going to get it somewhere else if you haven't solved the issue or solved the problem. So I took a hard right, went into naturopathic medicine, realized there's another big piece of the puzzle missing, and that's what you eat and what you drink. So building blocks, you know, are definitely amino acids, vitamins, all those kinds of things for making healthy cells. There's no training in traditional medical school. And there's 3 classes in naturopathic school. So I got a master's in nutrition, so I could start putting the pieces together. So I've always been a seeker, you know, I wanted to find the answers, what can make people well and healthy and vibrant and have a wonderful life. And when I got into practice, I was like, wait a minute, we're still giving handfuls of pills, whether they be natural or not, it's still inundating the system with lots of stuff. So I started studying energy medicine, and that is really where it's at. I mean, I started studying physics, the way it looks at the human body, the fact that we're 99.99999% space at an atomic level. And I started studying frequencies. So there's all kinds of frequencies out there. This is exclusively sonic or sound frequency. That is the best for the body. Travels really well through the body because we have so much water in our body. Sound travels 5 times faster and further through fluid. So it is an incredible technology for reaching and saturating every cell in your body with healing frequencies. I call it music for your cells. Cell tunes.
Very, very good.
And I started experimenting with different softwares and things like that from different parts of the world and testing them out, seeing what worked, seeing what was accurate. And like she said, I've been with the sound vibration technology since its inception, which was actually I think close to 18 years ago, and importing from another country. And I couldn't control the manufacturing, I couldn't control the quality, and I couldn't integrate any of the sound frequency medicine into the machine. So about 7 years ago, went into manufacturing with a business partner that is amazing at manufacturing. And we developed this machine. It is my life's work. It is truly limitless in what it can do. We've put literally every option we could think of, and I thought of a lot for 18 years. So bringing it to you and everyone else as a healing tool and a wellness tool and recovery tool is my passion, my dream.
Sounds fantastic. Yes, thank you. And I'm honored to work with you, and that you've chosen me to be a distributor of this product. So we have several different machines, and they're all branded AB Fit Elite, AB Fit Pro, and AB Fit. We'll get into that later. But let's talk about hertz in your body. Let's talk about the vibrational energy.
So we are an energy system, but our organs all have different frequencies. When they're healthy, they vibrate up. And this machine will target, it will go through a complete whole body cycle, and it will do different frequencies at different intensities, and it will target the cells in all of your organs in your body, different muscle groups, all of your soft tissues, your bones. It's wonderful for strengthening bones and reversing osteoporosis. They've done a ton of studies on that. What else would you like to know?
Well, most people, it seems at least for now, because of COVID and what's going on, weight loss. People were, at home, they were sedentary. Can you just walk us through what we do here?
Sure.
And what's going to happen when we go on the weight loss frequency?
Absolutely. A little bit of background on weight loss. I did a weight loss and wellness study about maybe 5 years ago, and just brought in random people from the community. I put a Facebook ad out, see who I get. So naturally, most of them did not exercise. And I wanted to do a short-term study because there's so many studies out there, but they're all long-term. They're 6-month, 9-month, year-long studies. So I wanted to do a short-term study. What can happen in a month? And I really didn't know what the results would be in 1 month's time because I've been on this technology for so long. But my requirement was that they come in and do 3 20-minute sessions a week for 4 weeks, 12 sessions. And then I lowered it to 11 minimum that they had to complete. And I had one guy that lost 21 pounds and 21 inches. The one thing I did ask everybody to do was to drink a lot of water. This technology moves your lymphatic system and detoxifies you better than anything I've ever seen. It's wonderful for lymphedema. It's wonderful for detox. But when you are breaking down fat cells at that rate, you need to really flush the body with fluid. It needs that extra help. But our average weight loss was 4 pounds. Several people lost between 11 and 12. And that's pretty remarkable for having just 3 20-minute sessions a week. So 10 minutes on the machine is actually equal to an hour's worth of cardio. Let that sink in for a second. 90 minutes of Tai Chi or Qigong as far as the energy movement in your body. And it is an ideal form of exercise for people with balance issues, people that are disabled, the elderly, people that can't get out and run or walk on the sidewalk for fear of falling. It's perfect for that. So what I did when I did my study is, I would have people come in and do a 20-minute session. And on this machine, we just start the program. I'm leaving the sound off because I want you to be able to hear me. And then I would start them on weight loss frequencies. Now this weight loss frequency, this is a combination of different frequencies. So it's frequencies for stimulating the thyroid and for lipolysis and cavitation. Now those are frequencies that break down the fat cell. That's actually what they use in non-invasive lipo. So those frequencies are all combined in weight loss. I also did mood elevation. Those are the combination of the frequencies for depression and fatigue. And that is one of the primary reasons we eat. Maybe I'm speaking for myself, but if I'm feeling kind of down, you know, sometimes people grab ice cream, I don't, but eating something is comforting. Find your comfort food. And the other thing that I do is, oops, wrong panel, stress relief. That's what I ran for that program. So the combination of just those frequencies was really, really effective. I think lowering the stress was key because so many people eat when they're stressed. It's nervous eating. And the combination of those frequencies worked really, really well. We also did a sliding scale, just a subjective sheet on a scale of 1 to 10 to see how their pain was, their mood was, their sleep was, all of those things. And everybody improved straight across the board. It was really remarkable. Everybody was sleeping better, everybody was feeling better. And, you know, found out at the end of the study, end of the month, that for some people it changed their life. You know, they were pretty much on the couch because they were feeling so down. And I know after COVID, like weight loss issues are huge and stress is really high and depression rates are high. And a lot of people end up with aches and pains in their body. There's also a whole bunch of pain management. But if you can get rid of, this is my theory, if I could create a technology that would move the lymphatic system, the circulatory system, strengthen the bones, and also lift the mood and relieve people's pain and help them lose weight, that's going to take care of a whole plethora of medical issues, especially even with the losing weight alone. You take care of so many. Diabetes is huge. Everything has just gone off the charts, especially since COVID. So that's what I did for the study. It was amazing. This machine, when you do the weight loss program, it takes your body to its right weight and you just stay there. My business partner, his wife was 12-14 and she started using the technology, and it took 6 months because she'd been there for years and years and years, and she did everything right. She exercised 4 days a week. She ate right. And this is the only thing that changed. And she went from 12-14 to a 6-8. And that's been, what, 7 years ago. And she's never put anything back on. She still uses the machine, gives her energy, relieves stress, does all of those things. I use it every day too. And I use the weight loss frequencies very frequently because I'm 56. I have half my thyroid, I'm postmenopausal. I have all those little contributing factors. I have a lot of stress, but this really takes care of it. I wouldn't survive without the machine.
Yeah, and so let's talk about these cell exciters. Because we've been having some great results. These target the areas in your body. So if it's knee pain, hip pain, foot pain, you can actually use these to intensify what you can even do like a spot reduction. I'm gonna have to start doing this here. I'm like, oh, I got some more right here. Anyways, so these are really cool. So when you come down to the center, if you want to come to my storefront, you can use this technology. And we have right now a special going on. You can come in the store complimentary and use it. We are going to start to charge in February. So then we talk about pets. We've had pets on the machine too.
Yeah, I actually have an amazing veterinarian that is introducing this into the veterinary industry. So pets, children, everybody really likes sound. And when you get on this machine, it's just amazing. And they have phenomenal results with animals. With people, sometimes we get a mental block that the mind is very powerful. So we pre-decide whether something's going to work or not. Animals don't have that. You put them on the machine, you put the cell exciters on them, you address specifically the problem they have, and it seems miraculous. It takes like 3 to 4 times on the machine, and she had a case of IBS. 7 years this dog had IBS, and the pet parents just had to deal with it for that long. And in those 4 sessions, it went away and it hasn't relapsed.
Wow.
They also, she addresses diet too, but amazing, amazing results with all kinds of things, autoimmune disorders, all kinds of things.
So what would be the normal process? Someone coming on here, how long do they typically go? What kind of results are they going to see? Can you walk us through that, please?
Sure. I normally start people at 10 minutes because that's an hour of cardio, and face it, that's more than a lot of people do or have done for a long time. So I start them at 10 minutes and see how they do. In the weight loss study, I did 20-minute segments, but I did them every other day. So people had a day for recovery because most of them were pretty sedentary. But 10 minutes a day is a good place to start. That's an hour of cardio. Up it to 15, and then you can take it to 20. If you can do that every day, you're going to change your life. One of the things that's almost magical about sonic vibration that doesn't exist in any other kind of vibration is it actually increases the energy inside each cell. So it's called cell voltage, and Otto Warburg actually won a Nobel Prize for all his work on cell voltage. So it increases the energy in the cell, and the cells will push away from each other. So each of your cells has this negative surface area, negative repels. Unfortunately, a lot of people have low cell energy. So their cells, if you look at live blood cell analysis, they're all clumped together. When they're clumped together, they can't get oxygen and nutrients in, can't get rid of waste products. And when they replicate, they produce less healthy cells. So this, in just 10 minutes, you can see on live blood cell analysis, all the cells going back to their normal nature. The cell voltage has gone up enough that they've separated, and then they start functioning better. And actually, on a cellular level is really the magic and the key. You think about cellular reproduction for a minute. So the rods and cones in your eyes, every 48 hours, you have new ones. Every 2 years, you have a new liver. Every 7 years, every cell in your body has been replicated. So if you can get the cell voltage up, and Otto Warburg said that 70 to 90 millivolts, it's negative millivolts, is actually the perfect frequency for the body to be a spontaneous healing machine. Now, most people walking around have about 50 millivolts. People that are chronically ill, they catch every cold, every flu, their immune system's down, they usually run about 35. And people that run about 15 are critically ill, and that's when the body starts going into shutdown. It's unbelievable. That effect alone is just unbelievable. And that doesn't happen with mechanical machines. When you do live blood cell analysis before and after mechanical vibration, there is absolutely no change in the way the blood looks.
Let's talk for a second about these mechanical machines. I want you to get into it a little bit more, because I didn't realize there's a difference between sound and mechanical. When she says mechanical, it's like a plate, it's like a jackhammer, it's like, and it hurts your body. I flew to California about little over a month ago, and I tried a light bed because I'm getting that as well, and I wanted to check the technology. After they put me in the light bed, they put me on this very inexpensive machine that really hurt my back. And I haven't had back problems for quite a while. So when I woke up the next day and I could barely move out of the bed in my hotel, and I was like, I gotta catch a flight, what am I gonna do? Ice and ibuprofen, and I don't like to take any pain pills. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's that machine. That thing is ruining my back. So if you are out there searching the internet for technology, it's not the same. Can you elaborate on why that is?
Well, you did part of it. The upstop, downstop is very rough on the body. It's a little bit like a jackhammer. It's hard on joints. There's trioscillating and teeter-totter ones that put a zigzag wave through the body, and that's really hard on the joints. If you have any back issues at all, I would absolutely stay off those. Even knee issues, any joint issues, it can be really detrimental. But sound is the opposite of that. Everything runs in a sine wave. So there's a curve at the top and a curve at the bottom, and there's no hard impact. It is literally very, very safe. It's very, very effective, and the body loves it. It's very welcoming. People usually get on it and go, oh. I actually, at my facility, I have a mechanical machine just so that people that haven't been on either one can just try it and see what they think, and then get on this. That's when the real perspective comes through.
Absolutely. That's great. Okay, so the warranty. Let's talk a little bit about the warranty of the machine. And
Sure.
that.
Sure, it's a 2-year warranty on the machine. And I say that and I always smile afterwards because I've never not taken care of anyone because it's just my nature. We're going to do some extended warranties though, 3 and 5 year. But so far, I have great customer service. I take care of my people.
And don't worry, we'll take care of you. You got
Yes.
in your back pocket. Okay, so one thing I wanted to let you know here is there's some amazing frequencies in here. And can you explain the Rife technology and what that is and what we're going to see right here?
Sure. So Dr. Royal Rife, many, many years ago, was funded by Bell Telephone, and he did a ton of frequency research. It wasn't sound frequency back then, but it was electrical pulse frequency. He built a big ray tube, and then he built the world's first live virus microscopes. There's actually one still in the Smithsonian. Had all these lenses. He studied optical surgery and astronomy for a while, trying to figure out how to make this thing. Because his theory was, if you can't see it, you're not going to know what kills it. You're not going to know what heals it. So, and he started with viruses, and viruses are very, very, very tiny compared to bacteria. And you couldn't see them with anything. So developing that microscope gave him the latitude to be able to take something and experiment with it and see what frequency formula he could come up with that was the resonant frequency of that particular virus. That's how it all started. And when you hit that frequency combination that was the resonant frequency, those viruses would just explode, kind of like an opera singer shattered in glass. It was just that resonant frequency where it would go poof. So he did a ton of work. He did 80 years worth of work. He started working with another doctor at the end, and then it was eventually converted into sound frequencies. We can still do that. Actually, within this program, we can still convert like Hilda Clark frequencies into sound. So it converts it into music for your cells. It's so much safer for the body, and it's so much more powerful. The body loves it. There's no side effects. It's all good.
Yes. So what are we looking at here?
So before this time's out, it has a 2-minute timer. You have to start a program. There's about 700 Rife frequencies in here. So you just click on one, it auto-populates a frequency generator. It's really easy to use. You do that and you press start. But there are tons and tons of frequencies. It all goes all the way down to Z. So pretty much if you can think of it, it's probably in here.
And not only that, for meditation, I love to meditate. I learned from Dr. Joe Dispenza about a year ago what meditation is all about. There's frequencies in here to get your root chakra and everything aligned in your system way quicker. So what I'll do is I'll do a 20-minute on here, and then I'll go into my meditation, and I'm automatically right where I can be, and it saves me a lot of time.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about the angio, and there's a lot of other things in here too.
Yeah, well, let me back up for a second. So basically this machine is an integration. It's kind of a bridge that I tried to build between Western medicine, naturopathic medicine, and Eastern medicine, because I've studied them all and they both have great things about them, all three of them, but lots of golden threads of truth weave through, but there's no one answer. If you put them together, you get magic. And this would be the Eastern medicine component. So Eastern medicine believes that all disorders, dysfunction, and disease is caused by an energy block in your body. So that can be in a chakra or an energy center. And if that is the case, then there are certain mental and emotional and physical chronic symptoms that go along with that energy center being blocked. So that's the Eastern medicine portion. There's also an audio in, so you can put your meditation music. You can start your chakra balancing. You can pick up to 4. Then you can go over to ancient tones, which are the solfeggios, and you can pick a couple of those. You can pick a meditation program for intuition. You can play all those at the same time where you're listening to your music, doing your Pilates or doing your meditation, whatever you want. It's almost a transcendent experience. It's really, really wonderful. In the solfeggios, if none of you are familiar with these, there's several ancient tones. One of them has been the most researched, is 528. It's called Transformations and Miracles in here, but they found out by researching at UCLA and Harvard that it actually regenerates DNA. So that's kind of important. We all need that. There's a lot of genetic damage that's happened through the centuries, but and even in our own lifetimes. So even with damaged tissues, you want to repair the DNA.
Awesome. So we do have these available for sale, but I want to talk to you a little bit about, this is an opportunity. And how I see this happening is people are going to come into my center. If you have one of these in your home, you can have people come into your home and you can charge them per session. Now, on top of that, we already have the best water. This machine coupled with the water, and then I also have inhalation hydrogen gas. So we're going to have people on here, they're going to get all their toxins in their lymphatic system, they're going to be drinking the water, and they're going to be putting the gas in their body. Now they're going to get off, we're going to charge them per session. What are people typically paying for that?
All depends on where it is. We have it at the Caroline Wellness Center. It's a resort in Miami, Florida, and they charge $99 for a session, and that's 20 minutes. And people also get concentrated oxygen with it.
Wow. So you're right there, $100 for 20 minutes to a high-end spa. So if you start at like $30 to $50 a session, and you have 5 people on it a day, you could be generating income right out of your home, and then you're getting the water and hydrogen gas at the same time. Watch out, the results are going to be astonishing. It's really going to be great. So that being said, next week, I'm going to be talking about the actual machines, the payment plans we have available for you, and also if you want to be an affiliate, because if you want to be an affiliate, there'll be a commission if you want to actually sell the machine. So that's going to be next week. Once you get a machine in your home, you have us. So we've set up a whole training database for you where we have step-by-step, play-by-play videos for you to educate people, to know the machine. And then we have ongoing training once a week that you can meet with us in a Zoom and we'll go through everything. We're also setting up marketing strategies for you. So if you're like, I don't know how to market this product, don't worry, we got all of that covered. We're going to be talking to you about Facebook ads, YouTube ads, and things like that. So that is coming next week. So make sure if you're on this video, you've got to sign up to be an affiliate at amandabobbett.com. Super simple. It doesn't cost you anything. You can sell everything on my website. So all these things I'm talking about, you can sell it without even owning the product. Just go to amandabobbett.com, AMANDABOBBETT. At the top, it's affiliate, and sign up. You're gonna have to put your information for your taxes in there, and then you'll be an affiliate. And then I'll train you next week on our products, and then ongoing every Thursday at 4 p.m. We'll also have Dr. Caroline on these calls as well. So that is about wrapping it up for the content tonight. But what I want to do now is, I know you probably have questions. So let's go ahead and have Sean. If you do have a question, Sean is going to do his best to go through all the questions we have and get answers to you. And if you think of any questions, just email support@amandabobbett.com and we will get your question answered. So that being said, Sean, do we have any questions?
Yes, it's David from Denmark.
Denmark. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I love Denmark. I want to go back. It's been several years.
I'm just saying I love this show, and I've also loved your product. I'm also in Diametric, and I've been there for 5 years, and that's awesome. But this machine, this sound is just taken to a whole new level, because my heart is vibrating like a Christmas tree.
Yes, I feel my heart frequency right now too. Wow.
Yeah, because I can't write and I can't read. I actually, from 6 years old, I learned sound and music before a note, before I used the alphabet. So I know that feeling, and the Sakwas centers, that's so awesome, because I have known that for a long time. I only wish I had this machine 8 years ago or 10 years ago. But my question is, one, can I buy that for Europe and promote it? Because I would love to promote this unit, because this is a game changer. It's a world changer.
I can't tell you how much it's changed my life. I've only had it in my life a few months. So
It is definitely my passion in my life's work. Since you're into music and you love music, you can actually take your cell phone, plug it into the side of this, and this is an incredible Wi-Fi system. You can use it for a stereo in the whole house. It has 3 powerful voice coils in the base, And they produce incredible sound, plus the Bose speakers, plus the cell exciters. And it's just the quality of the sound reproduction is amazing.
I have also a question for that. If you put music into the machine, does it change the music to the frequency 5 today, or 3? Can you bet into 3, 4, 3, 2?
I don't know if I completely understood that, but you can put music to the machine and also layer it with your frequencies that you're working on.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
All together.
Oh,
it's like sex. All together.
That is so cool. I know, I'll do my meditation on it, and I just feel like I'm in bliss. Honestly, I feel every day I'm in bliss now. It is just the most incredible feeling in the world.
I can tell you your energy shifted
I
a lot
know it
from when
has.
we started
Yeah.
this. I'm just bright, your whole field's bright.
Just because I'm just looking at the future and thinking, wow, this has changed my life so much. It's going to change so many others' lives out there.
That's my dream.
Yeah. Well, it's coming
Can
true.
I get it? Can I get
Absolutely.
it to Denmark?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up distribution centers all over the world, and then we'll train you, and we can teach you how to do everything on the machine, and we'll make you the hub.
Nice. Also, I have a friend who really he saw the first interview you did, and he also was hooked from the very start. So it's a whole base community, and he's an old policeman, and he said, "This is what I have wanted for a long time." So.
Yeah. And this is the only one in the world, because we are the manufacturer. So we are in a good position right now.
There's nothing else like it.
Yep. Super. Any other questions?
Yeah, I've got one.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'm John from Canada. And I have a guy who's 77 years old. He's gone to a doctor. He had an MRI on his back. And they're talking about surgery, and he's drinking the water right now, and he's having a hard time walking sometimes. Would this be something that would help him without having to do surgery? Or
well, it depends on what the problem is. So if he has nerve compression, if he has nerve compression from a collapsed disc, that is. Sometimes that has to be fixed. If it is not a collapsed disc, you can do stretching exercises, things like that, and get that space to open back up so that nerve is released. So it all depends on what he has. I wouldn't be able to tell you without looking at x-rays, and can't diagnose over the phone anyway. But for a lot of people with chronic back pain, this is phenomenal. They put the cell exciters right on their back. There's actually a frequency panel for back pain. There's one for knee pain. There's one for joint pain that works great with arthritis. There's one for muscle pain and injury, which I use a lot because I'm super, super active. I'm a slalom skier and snow skier, and I do this a lot to just make sure I'm not sore the next day. But using the pain frequencies for like the back, and I would use inflammation. If he's had an injury, I would use trauma frequencies because we tend to get trauma stored in the body, and that causes a problem. So it all depends on the extent of his issue. I don't know if he hurt his back so I don't know how to fully answer that. I know it takes care of a lot of back problems for a lot of people.
One thing we didn't touch on, which we will be touching on in a later video, this device, you can actually get on here with weights, and you can put bands on here. It actually comes with bands. There's a whole programs for people that work out, athletes. Training programs, so ATP production, like it's all right there. So if this was to be in a gym, or you have athletes, this is the ideal thing for them to help them recover as well.
Yeah.
Super. And
okay, this is Ricarda from Columbus, Georgia. Hi. Good to see you.
yeah.
I have a couple of questions, please. The first one is, how much water should people drink after they have done a session?
the body weight.
I would say, well, first off, just to be hydrated in general, you need at least a half an ounce per pound of body weight per day minimum.
That's
So
the
if you're
normal, yeah, that's the normal figure. Okay.
You want to do 1 ounce. So do 1 ounce per pound of body weight per day at the standard
Yeah.
for people going on here.
Okay. Wonderful. The second question is, you talked about you shutting off the sound, but frequencies still work, right?
Okay, so
machine-
I don't have the sound on today because I want everybody to hear everything. But if you don't, so here's the part of Western medicine that this machine really addresses. It is literally the best thing that has ever been created for lymphatic movement.
Yep.
So absolutely, please do. So your lymphatic system is considered the most neglected system in the body, and allopathic is looking at the underlying cause of most all disease. So I know lymphedema, rates of lymphedema are going through the ceiling. There are physicians and clinics that specialize in just treating lymphedema. So that's when the lymph gets super congested. Usually it's in the lower extremities. These people will put on a lot of weight, get really heavy in the lower extremities, circulation slows down, they find it harder and harder to exercise. So your lymphatic system, it's all over your body. It parallels all your veins and arteries. And there's usually 4 lymphatic vessels in every blood vessel in the body. And it works like a vacuum cleaner. It's constantly cleaning out your bloodstream because your bloodstream has to stay very, very stable. So it's cleaning it out, but the problem with the lymphatic system is it doesn't have a pump. Your circulatory system has a pump. It's the heart. Lymphatic system doesn't have one. So it relies on one-way valves and it relies on muscle action. Well, considering the number of people that are actually sedentary, there's not much movement to push the lymph up. So frequencies, there's a manual program and you can go down. Frequency 4, 5, and 6 are the perfect frequencies to throw the lymph up, give time for the valve to close, and throw it up again. And this is where mechanical machines are very poor at covering that issue. Most of them don't go down below 25 hertz. Some of them don't go down below 35 hertz. All your medicinal frequencies for your organs to be stimulated to the right frequency, all your muscles, your bones, all of that is in the lower frequency ranges. And most of them don't even touch on that. They do shake the body and they influence within 2 feet of the plate, but they don't, the cells will get shaken up, but in live blood cell analysis, they look identical before and after mechanical vibration. But if you can get in here and do these, your lymphatic circulation is.
The question was actually, do you have to have the sound on the machine for it to work?
Yeah. So I should have finished that. Sorry. I heard that sound and it kind of distracted me for a second. So when you're using just these frequencies, these low frequencies are not audible, right? They're really, oops, I didn't mean to turn that on. They're really effective at stimulating all the organs and bones, but they don't have to, you don't have to have any sound with it. You don't have to play any other frequencies. What this is synergy. So anytime you get a sound frequency formula for weight loss and put it with a machine that is having you burn enough calories and exercise enough to simulate an hour of exercise, you're getting a pronounced effect. So you still get the basic medical effects, like the lymphatic movement is one, bone density increase is one, but if you add the bone density frequencies, it is multiplied many, many times. It's not just 1 + 1 = 2. It's like 1 + 1 = 10. The other thing you do get stimulation of circulation. You will get movement of lactic acid after you exercise, but it's a fraction of what you get if you put it with the right frequency formula. So it can be run without sound. I mean, that was the early technology I imported. This is all there was. Whole lot. That's it.
Okay. And how do you detox then from the toxins from your lymphatic system? They go through the elimination channels, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. What about people that have issues with their colon? Our gut is usually a problem, right? For a lot of people. Right. Digestion is a problem. Do you also give nutritional advice?
Well, I have the degrees for that. I kind of quit doing that in my full-time practice when I went into full-time manufacturing. So I can give nutritional guidelines, and Amanda can post them.
Maybe you can speak about that one day with another
Yes.
session, okay?
Yes.
And what about if people are on a lot of medications? Does that interfere with medications they're
It
taking?
doesn't interfere with medications. I do not ever tell people to go off or on something. I can't do that as a medical practitioner over the phone with a patient. But medications I don't have a problem with. The only time I've ever seen a problem is somebody didn't tell me that this lady was on her third round of chemo, and she had just come out of the chemo session. And I had her on the machine on low, and I watched her face after like 5 minutes. And about 4 minutes, I thought, she's going down. She had such low blood sugar. She'd just been through a chemo treatment. Her body was so toxic from all the chemo she'd had.
Sure.
And in that instance, I did see a negative reaction. But other than that, I haven't seen any.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You purchased one and it's coming to you. It shipped out yesterday, so we're very
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
I have one.
Okay, we've been asking for guys to give them a demonstration of the machine. So I'm gonna get on
Be my
here and
guest.
show you what I
Step out
typically
of the
do.
way.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm one of those people that goes all in. I don't just do anything like a little bit. So I go on ultra. So that's the highest, but do not go on that your very first time. You want to go on the low, because otherwise you will experience that Herxheimer's. You don't want that. And we've had customers are like, wow, I had no idea that was gonna happen. And it's not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing. It means your body is getting rid of waste. Okay, so I go on wellness typically, and I do lymphatic, I do mood elevation. I'm gonna turn on the sound so you can hear it. So you can kind of hear the noise.
It's just gonna be loud. I mixed it up on a phone. It's voice is loud.
So I just want you to hear it. I'm gonna turn it off now so you don't hear it. But I also do weight loss. And then I usually go over here and do stress. That's always a good one for me. And you can do 5. And then sometimes I do woman. And then the sound's gonna come in. And then what I do is I go back to this setting and I start the vibration. So now the vibration comes from underneath the sound. And here it goes. So this is on ultra. And this is what's stimulating the lymphatic system. So when this starts to go, oh, I have to turn it on, sorry.
We're gonna try the other.
Oh yeah, it feels so good. Oh my gosh. I just love it. So if you want, Sean, back up a little bit so people can see my body and what it's doing. But you can see how my body is vibrating. So it's a very gentle vibration, but it feels so good. And when I'm on here, what I do is I breathe all the way out, and I breathe. And I let all that stress out of my day, and I even have little goggles that I put on too, so that I'm really focusing. And I put here, the ones here at my store have the earmuffs that go over, and I listen to the sound in the ears. And I just do this for about 20 minutes. And now I'm going to start working out on here. So it's going to help to build the muscle tissue a lot faster. So that's basically it. Now you sometimes play around with the other, so we can get that down. So, oh, that would probably be easier. Okay. So there's 2 different programs here. There's Cell Tunes and there's the True Resonance. So this is giving you all of you can go and zoom in here just a little bit. So you can see all these 700 different frequencies here. Anything from autism to backache. We can't ever cure or treat anything. These are just going to help alleviate these symptoms associated with these certain conditions. So don't think I'm going to cure anything here. But these are right. So these are, all kinds of stuff in here. Look at, we have cramps, severe cysts, diabetes, depression, edema, anything you can think of, it's in here. Okay. So
What about kidney?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's kidney insufficiency.
Yep. So
What
we have-
about if somebody is on dialysis?
Yeah, so you can still use them. I've had patients that are trying to stay off of dialysis, and if they use it every day, it actually improves their levels and they can stay off dialysis. It's happened many times. Once somebody's on dialysis, it can still help. would never recommend somebody go off. When they put you on dialysis, you're there for life. That's that. I do want to say something here. This girl's extreme. She does it on ultra. I only do it on higher medium, depending on how I'm feeling that day, and sometimes even on low when I'm meditating. And you don't have to have it that loud.
You know,
She's like
I said,
110%.
I am, absolutely. Okay, so also look at this. For those of you that are into your chakra balancing, what I'll do on this is I'll put all the chakras and I'll line that. And it tells you over here, look, if you're having problems in your heart chakra, what are the symptoms associated with that? Oh, you're going to have this, that, and the other thing. It tells you what's going on and what chakra is out of balance. So it helps to balance you. So that being said,
I have a question.
there were some more questions and I'm going to get to you, but go ahead and come on out and tell us your question, please.
Amanda,
Yes.
Charles.
Charles, nice to hear from you.
First of all, I applaud you. You are the perfect person to bring this technology to light.
Thank you so much.
I've known about this for over a year now, and
Wow.
I'm so happy to see this technology come into fruition.
Super. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hello?
It heals.
Your body can heal if given the right tools. Absolutely.
Yeah, people don't realize frequency change the vibration in our bodies that allow healing. Just like with the water. It's like a no-brainer.
Couple this with the water and you have the hydrogen inhalation, which you're going to be seeing a lot more too. Watch out. Be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I know we did have another question in the chat about.
I do. Gardner, Nathan. Hello.
Hello.
Gardner. Hello.
Yes, hello.
I have a problem with that. I'm on dialysis,
Okay.
and I want to know is, can I? Would it, like you say, it's a continued situation, how we can help me by being on dialysis?
Okay, so have you been on dialysis very long?
About 3 years.
Okay. So I don't really want to get into your your levels of anything right now and, in front of other people for HIPAA violation kind of things. But once people get on dialysis, I've not seen the medical community want to release them. I have seen people with their GFRs get really, really, really low and get on the technology and they go back up enough that they never have to go on dialysis. But once you're on it, I know you could talk to your doctor about it. It will increase kidney function unless they've completely shut down.
That's why I want to know what's the increase in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as they're still functioning.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't know if, there is a stopping point for kidneys, especially when they're on dialysis.
Okay. I want to get off so bad. That's why I asked.
Yeah. It would help with everything else.
Okay. Thanks.
It really helps with edema too. So getting rid of the extra fluid.
I missed the part of what the machine will cost.
So next week, we're going to be going over that in the affiliate training on Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll go through everything because there's just too much to talk about and different things.
Okay, I got you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I got a question.
Okay.
The machine as is, how many pieces does it disassemble to be able to 2 pieces? Okay, because I'm thinking if I have contacts in the wellness industry and I want to, let's say, maybe let them borrow one or something, I want to know how tough it's going to be to move it around because it is heavy.
So I designed this machine differently than what I imported from Korea. It was all bolted together. Everything, there's several connectors from the base to the tower, and then it slid into extrusions and everything was bolted together. And the problems we had with those is it would shake the tower. The plate would shake the tower because everything was connected. So in the design and in R&D on this one, I wanted complete isolation because I put 10 times the power and the technology in the tower. And I don't want all of those electronics, the circuit boards, the computer, that can be shook. So this is actually 2 pieces. There is a base plate underneath the tower that comes out. It's a piece of steel, it's 1/2 inch steel, it's solid. It has some holes in it that the anti-vibration feet on the bottom of this plate will drop into, and there's only one connector that goes from the tower to the base. So it's super, super simple. You connect it, and then you drop the base front legs into those holes. And it doesn't go anywhere, and it completely isolates from any of the vibration from the tower.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take just a couple more here if we have more.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
Can you hear me? This is Nikki in Kennewick.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi. Is this sound frequency, is it safe for heart patients to use?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I've had open surgery and I'm looking for something to help me get stronger. So.
Oh yeah, no, this is, if people have pacemakers, I mean, at first, years and years ago, we used to give them a pamphlet, say, take it to your cardiologist and ask them. And the thing is, this is basically a speaker system, right? Just super, super high tech and powerful. And they'd all look at it or research it or read all the stuff. And they're like, well, it's no more dangerous than sitting in front of your stereo. Do you do that? There's no, the only thing they said is don't lay down on the plate if you have a pacemaker, just because there's the magnetic coils and they are powerful in here. But we've never had any issues with anything. If you want to, like, the only contraindications are if you have a complete knee replacement, you need to wait 9 months. That's traditional before you're released to major exercise. Complete hip, it's a year, 12 months. Other surgeries, it's usually 6 weeks. And usually your physician is like, you're good to go. Go hit the gym. And if you're at that point, you can definitely use this.
And also great about it is you can come in here, and Nikki, since you're local, come down tomorrow. We'll be there from 10 to 2. But you can sit on the machine too. So if you don't think you can stand for very long because you don't have access to legs or whatnot, sit on there. You can also put a wheelchair on there as well.
Yeah.
So especially people in wheelchairs that don't move their colon, think of all that toxin just sitting in that area that's able to move now.
And there's frequencies on here for constipation that in conjunction with the sound vibration are extremely effective. And constipation, by the way, is one of the top 6 reasons people go to the doctor. Do you know that? It's really widespread. But you can put a chair on here for somebody who can't sit if they're elderly. I've had people with MS on it and they sit.
Okay, is there any questions out there?
Have you had any experience with people who have ADD or ADHD?
Yeah, so it's actually usually very calming, and there's actually frequencies that help assist with that as well.
Okay.
Super.
So it can help children as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
What about someone with high blood pressure?
High blood pressure, there's frequencies for that. Actually, the machine on its own, without any of the frequencies, will lower blood pressure. But if you set the hypertension frequencies, it's very effective.
Cool. All right, friends. Well, we are very excited about this technology. So what I want you to do next, if you are interested in purchasing one of these, you can always send us an email at support@bobbett.com. You can get on a 3-way call with Dr. Caroline here if you have more questions for her as well. So that's going to conclude it. And then make sure to stay tuned. Make sure on our email list. Make sure you're watching our social media platforms. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel, Amanda Bobbett, because we have our training next week on Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to go through all the pricing that we have to, okay? So until we see you soon, be happy, be healthy, and be free. Checking off here. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.